This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the L2C Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. I'm Harry, and here's the man with the plan. And no, I didn't notice his Jeep in that parking lot match on AEW, the main event tonight. Here's Steve. My Jeep feels like it was in the main event tonight. Still does. Anyway, welcome everybody. Hi. How you doing? Welcome to this. I think I know why producer Peter Avalon ties his hair up, sort of that man bun thing, because he knows how to take care of long hair. Anyway. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to our Wednesday night get together. And yes, friends, you know what that means. That's right. The one, the only, the prognosticator, our rabbi, our friend, Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman will be joining us tonight with his predictions or prediction for Thursday Night Football. Hopefully we have the live capability to do this, and we do. But before that happens, it is great. Football is back. Not just the pro game, but how it happened, well, it's still being debated, but the 10 has done an about face and said, hike that ball. We're in. That's right. We are back in, and the Big Ten is coming back a long way. If you excuse me, our friends at WLNS, they're here for us. No other station reported it in the mid-Michigan market. WLNS did, not even us. As if we ever get a chance. Anyway. Right, folks, the Big Ten is back in business. They're going to hike that ball. Here, they reversed the decision. And that's very good. Very nice. And right now we're going to give you that story. It was Story Channel 6. WLNS TV broke last night, and we reported on that last night on the Sports Final. So, a needle pulling thread. What's going to happen, as they say in the business? Well, we're going to try to find that little information for you here as we make little musicals here. But it was somewhat of a unanimous decision that the Big Ten reversed its decision, and will play this season. That's right. The conference announced this morning that will return to play the weekend of October 24th. And October 23rd and 24th, after initially deciding to cancel all fall sports back on August 11th in the midst of the pandemic. In a morning press release, it was revealed that the Big Ten Council of Presidents and Chancellors I wish I wouldn't put commercial. Okay. In a morning press release, it was revealed that the Big Ten Council of Presidents and Chancellors voted unanimously to resume the season after adopting significant medical protocols, including daily antigen testing, enhanced cardiac screening, and an enhanced data-driven approach when making decisions about practice and competition or completion. Right? Yeah. Nope. Competition. Thank you. Eyes work. According to reports, the season will include an 8-game schedule for each Big Ten squad, plus an additional Champions Week game for each team. Fans, of course, will not be allowed to purchase tickets to the games, although the schools and conference are investigating how let families attend. Urban Meyer of Fox Sports reacted to the news immediately after it was announced, sharing his joy that Big Ten football is back and crediting the players. Azul. Now, according to the Wednesday press release, the Big Ten will begin daily testing on September 30th with a focus on heart health at the forefront of its medical protocols. It says here in the press release, all COVID-19 positive student athletes will have to undergo comprehensive cardiac testing to include labs and biomarkers, ECG, echocardiogram, and a cardiac MRI. Following cardiac evaluation, student athletes must receive clearance from a cardiologist designated by the university for the primary purpose of a cardiac clearance for COVID-19 positive student athletes. The earliest a student athlete can return to game competition is 21 days following a COVID-19 positive diagnosis. In addition to the medical protocols approved, the 14 Big Ten institutions will establish a cardiac registry in an effort to examine the effects on COVID-19 positive student athletes. The registry and associated data will attempt to answer many of the unknowns regarding the cardiac manifestations in COVID-19 positive elite athletes. Reaction to the news was swift and positive, including from Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields, one of the most outspoken advocates of returning to play in the Big Ten. And, of course, Brett Trump weighed in on the news, saying, "Great news, Big Ten football is back. All teams participate. Thank you to the players, coaches, parents, and all school reps. Have a fantastic season. It is my great honor to have helped." Now, on August 11th, as we know, the Big Ten became the first of the Power 5 conferences to cancel its fall football season, followed by the Pac-12. The ACC, Big 12, and SEC decided to continue with their seasons, and both the ACC and Big 12 started their seasons this past weekend. The SEC is set to begin the weekend of September 26th. Yay! Entering the season, the Big Ten had 6 teams ranked in the top 25. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 7, Penn State. Number 12, Wisconsin. Number 16, Michigan. Number 19, Minnesota. And number 24, Iowa. With the league's return and the reintroduction of teams such as Ohio State and Penn State into the rankings, there is a possibility for a more balanced college football playoff race. The 8-game season in 8 weeks with late October start date would allow for the Big Ten to cap the season and name a conference champion in time to be considered for a semifinal spot in the college football playoff. However, the conference's eligibility must be approved by the playoffs management committee. All 10 of the FBS commissioners and Notre Dame athletic director Jack Swarbrick will have to vote on whether the Big Ten can participate in the college football playoff. With the top teams back in the mix, it could be argued that an asterisk-free champion could be crowned, as only 3 Pac-12 teams, Oregon, USC, and Utah, were included in the AP poll top 25 preseason rankings, and Oregon was the only team in the top 10. And as these Big Ten teams announced their return to play, so did their players who initially decided to opt out of the season. If player opted out but had not declared an agent, that athlete preserved their eligibility and scholarship and would be allowed to return. In August, following the announcement of the postponement of the season, the NC2A released a little statement. Michigan State redshirt freshman linebacker Marcel Lewis, who on August 8th decided to sit out the season, reverse course. He released this statement on Twitter, quote, "Just so there isn't any confusion going on out there. I've decided to opt back in. I decided to make this decision weeks ago. This decision was due to the more resources we have now and more development in our testing protocols. I've been playing football my whole life. There isn't a question on whether I love football or not. I put safety and health first. Now that we have all the right resources, I feel more comfortable and ready to ball. And excited for what's in for us. Lewis was one of 4 Michigan State players dropped out of the season, as well as defensive end Jacob Panasuk, offensive lineman Jordan Reed, and offensive lineman Justin Stevens. But there has been no word on any status change regarding these other players. Okay, but there's more to this than meets the eyes, ears, nose, and throat, and we are going to tell you all about that pronto. Because, there is a twist. That's right. A little unique twist in December, and we're going to tell you all about that right here, right now. Oh, goodums. So here we go. Now, as all 14 teams, come on, thank you, will play a 9th game on the weekend of the league title game. Wisconsin Athletic Director Barry Alvarez, who leads the conference's scheduling subcommittee, revealed the plan Wednesday in a presentation on the Big Ten Network. Excuse me for a moment. I want to center the mic thusly. Alvarez said, quote, "We will play 8 games plus 1. Very unique Champions Week where the teams from the East and West will match up and play one another. The league schedule is likely to be announced this week and is expected to be an 8-game conference-only slate beginning the weekend of October 24th, with the all-inclusive championship week and 9th game coming the weekend of December 19th. Now, under the plan, the 2 division winners will play each other in the conference title game like normal, with the second-place teams from each division facing off and so on all the way down to the 7th-place teams from each division. Alvarez noted the league will try to avoid having teams play each other twice and said it's not been determined an opportunity to play 9 games. We want to make the season meaningful. You have a number of players trying to make a decision whether they're opting in or opting out, so we wanted to make it a meaningful season. 9 games we felt was very meaningful. Now, the move could also have an impact on the college football playoff conversation. If Ohio State lost a game in the regular season and finished second in the Big Ten East, it would have an additional opportunity to impress the selection committee the day before the 4th team into the playoff, as the ACC, Big 12, and SEC are all scheduled to play at least 10 games. So there you go. There's your unique twist. And believe me when I tell you, I am happy. I wonder if the rabbi is happy, because now, not yet. Now let's get you to the important part of the story as we continue with we got do we have another thing like you gotta be kidding, we lost that report? Ah, boy. Okay. We'll talk more about that in a few moments. The early start for basketball. Stay tuned for that. Plus, of course, NFL injury list, and we have the rabbi joining us. But for right now, let's get you up and over the rainbow. It's time for some Major League Baseball scores. Top of the 6th inning. To 6th inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks lead the California Angels 6-3, 6-8-0 for the DBs, 3-5-1 for the Angels. Top of the 5th inning, Giants over the Marlins, 8-3, 8-12-0 for the Giants, 3-5-0 for the Mariners. Final in 10 innings, it was the World Series defending champion Washington Nationals beating the Tampa Bay Rays by a score of 4-2. 4-7-0 for the Nats, 2-7-0 for the Rays. Hudson, the winner for the Nats, he's 2-2. Anderson, the loser for the Rays, he's 1-1. And McGowan gets his first save for the Nats. McGowan, the pitcher for the Nationals, pitched one full. Didn't lose a hit or an earned run. Got 3 strikeouts and no walks. Lowe, the Tampa Bay second baseman, went 3 for 4. A run, a homer, a double, an RBI, and a walk. The Athletics beat the Rockies 3-1, 3-6-0 for the Athletics, 1-9-1 for the Rocks. Fears gets the win for the Athletics. He's 6-2. Marquez gets the loss for the Rocks. He's 2-6. And Hendricks for the Athletics got his 13th save. Now, Fears, the Oakland pitcher, pitched 6 full, gave up 7 hits, one earned run, got 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Hendricks, the Oakland pitcher, pitched 1 2/3, gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Dodgers beat up on the Padres 7-5, 7-8-1 for the Dodgers, 5-6-2 for the Padres. Kolarek gets a win for the Dodgers. He's 3-0. Morjan gets a loss for the Pods. He's 2-1. And Baez gets second save for the Dodgers. Profar, the San Diego left fielder, went 2 for 3. A run, a homer, 3 RBIs, and a walk. May for the Dodgers, the pitcher, went 5 1/3 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, got 6 strikeouts, and a walk. Cardinals beat up on the Brewers 4-2, 4-7-0 for the Cards, 2-4-1 for the Brews. Wainwright gets a win for the Cardinals. He is 5-1. Woodruff gets the loss for the Brews. He's 2-4. Wainwright, St. Louis pitcher, pitched 7 full, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, got 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk in the deal. While Woodruff, the Milwaukee pitcher, pitched 7 full, gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts he got, no walks. Marlins over the Red Sox 8-4, 8-9-0 for the Marls, 4-10-0 for the Bo Sox. Garcia gets the win for the Marlins. He's 2-0. Kickham gets the loss for the Red Sox. He split the uprights. He's 1-1. Alfaro, the Miami catcher, went 2 for 3, 2 runs, 2 homers, 4 ribs with spicy sauce. Garcia, the Miami pitcher, went 1 full inning, didn't give up a hit or an earned run, got 2 strikeouts and no walks. Reds beat the Pirates 1-0, 1-5-0 for the Reds, 0-3-0 for the Pirates. Castillo gets a win for Reds. He's 3-5. Brubaker gets a loss for the Padres. He's 1-2. And Iglesias gets his 8th save for the Reds. Iglesias pitched 1 full inning, didn't give up a hit or an earned run, did get a strikeout, but no walks. Castillo pitched 7 innings for the Reds, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, got 10 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The Yankees blew up the Blue Jays again. 13-2 was the final score. 13-14-0 for the Yanks. 2-5-0 for the Jays. Cole gets a win for the Yanks. He's 6-3. Rourke gets lost for the Blue Jays. He's 2-2. And players of the game for the New York Yankees, catcher Higashioka went 3 for 4, 3 runs, 3 homers, and 5 ribs. Cole, the New York pitcher, pitched 7 full, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, got 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. All right, let's continue the fun fiesta. The Mets beat the Phillies 5-4, 5-10-1 for the Mets, 4-11-1 for the Phils. Castro got the win for the Mets. He's 2-1. Neris gets the loss for the Phils. He's 2-2. And Diaz gets his first save for the Mets. Wheeler, Philadelphia pitcher, went 7 1/3. Gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, got 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Davis, designated hitter for the Mets, went 3 for 4. 2 runs, a homer, 2 doubles, and 3 RBIs. Royals came back after that humiliating last night and beat the Tigers 4-0, 4-6-0 for the Royals, 0-2-2 for the Tigers. Singer gets the win for the Royals. He's 3-4. Skubal gets the loss for the Tigers. He's 1-3. Singer pitched 6 full, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. And Skubal for Detroit pitched 6 full, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. Orioles beat the Braves 5-1, 5-7-1 for the Orioles, 1-6-0 for the Braves. Aiken gets the win for the Orioles. He's 1-1. Hamels gets the loss for the Braves. He's 0-1. Iglesias, the shortstop, went 2 for 3, got a run and a rib for Baltimore. Aiken, the pitcher for Baltimore, went 5 full, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, got 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. Twins over the White Sox, 5-1, 5-7-1 for the Twins, 1-2-0 for the White Sox. Stashak got the win for the Twins. He's 1-0. Giolito got the loss for the Sox. He's 4-3. Giolito, the White Sox pitcher, went 6 full, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, got 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Stashak for Minnesota pitched 2 1/3 innings, didn't get up a hit or an earned run, got 2 strikeouts and no walks. In the second stanza, between the Brewers and the Cardinals, the Brewers came back to blank the Cardinals 6-0, 6-7-0 for the Brews, 0-2-1 for the Cards. Peralta gets a win for the Brews. He's 3-1. Oviedo gets the loss for the Cards. He's 0-3. Braun, so the Milwaukee right fielder, went 2 for 3, got a run, homer, double, and 3 ribs. Peralta went 2 innings as the pitcher for Milwaukee. Didn't give up a hit or an earned run, got 3 strikeouts and no walks. All right. Rangers minimized the Astros to 1-0, 1-5-0 for the Rangers, 0-4-0 for the Astros. Gibson got the win for the Rangers. He's 2-5. Presley stunk it up for the Astros. He's 1-3. Gibson, the pitcher for Texas, went the full 9, gave up 4 hits, no earned runs, got 9 strikeouts and 3 walks, while McCullers, the Houston pitcher, went only 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, got 8 strikeouts, and no walks. And finally, in 10 innings, Cubs beat the Indians 3-2, 3-9-0 for the Cubs, 2-5-2 for the Indians. Adam gets the win for the Cubs. He's 2-1. Matan gets the loss for the Indians. He's 2-2. Adam for Chicago, the pitcher, went 1 full, didn't give up a hit or an earned run, got 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Civale, the Cleveland pitcher, went 6 full, gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, got 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And that is your baseball report for this evening. We're going to take a wee the Vatican Football League for our friend the Rabbi. He's got his picks for this Thursday night football on the NFL Network. So stay tuned. We'll all be back in just a few moments. And a reminder that there is no live. Let's try it again. Nick Ricada Law Channel, Lost Blaney Interwebs. There will be no broadcast tonight because old Nicky is going to have something good for us on Thursday and or Friday with Drexel. So this should be fun. He's also got a few things already in the soup that he will share with us. So for those of you expecting to see Lost Blaney Interwebs with Minnesota lawyer Nick Ricada on the Ricada Law Channel here on YouTube, not streaming tonight, but he may be on Twitch tonight with his usual gameplay. So watch for Nick and Lost Blaney Interwebs tomorrow right here on YouTube. And with that, it is time to give you the results of the first week of football predictions, and we'll get you some more news, and then we'll cut over to our friend Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman. Right now, let's give you the results of the first week. After 16 games, the total, I am at 8-8 in a tie with Uno, the mouse assassin. And my mom, Sharon Baxley, who has been the winner 17 of our 19 years, is in second place. Technically, second place, yes. And I gotta make sure. Yep. 4 losses and 2 wins. Fox. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. And that means I went 8-8. Don't cough. He went 8-8. Wait. So right now, my mom is in second place at 25%. Me and Uno are battling for first place with 50%. But how did our friend the rabbi do, you may ask? Well, we're going to tell you. How did our rabbi do? Well, after 16 games, which is the first week, the rabbi went 10-6, 625 or 62%. And we'll be ready with the rabbi shortly. Right now, it is time for NFL injuries. Our first report of injuries through the for the second week. And here we go. We're going to give them to you in alphabetical order. Let's start with Arizona. Mason Cole, a hamstring, questionable for week 2 versus Washington. Josh Jones, also questionable for week 2 with an ankle sprain. Jalen Thomas, questionable for week 2 with another ankle sprain. Kayshawn Johnson has an illness, so he is on IR for COVID-19. Brett Toth has an undisclosed injury, so he's also on injured reserve. Reese Odehiombo is questionable for week 2 versus Washington because of a chest ailment. Robert Alford has injured his pectoral muscle, so he is on injured reserve. In Atlanta, Kendall Sheffield has a foot injury, questionable for week 2. At Dallas, Charles Harris, ankle injury, questionable for week 2 at Dallas. And Marlon Davidson, knee injury, questionable for week 2 at Dallas. Let's go to Baltimore. Justin Madabuki, knee injury, questionable for week 2. Justice Hill, thigh injury, questionable. Chris Mall, finger injury, questionable. Ronnie Stanley, ankle injury, questionable. DeAndrew White, undisclosed injury. He's on injured reserve, as is Eman Marshall, injured reserve due to a knee injury. And Anton Wesley, a shoulder injury, puts him also on injured reserve. There's a lot on the plate of Buffalo. Delshon Phillips, quadriceps, questionable. Josh Norman, hamstring, injured reserve, expected return in week 4. Tremaine Edmonds, shoulder, he's questionable for week 2. Matt Milano is also questionable due to a hamstring injury. Foot injury by Tommy Sweeney has him physically unable to perform. His expected return is in week 7. Isaiah Hoggins, shoulder injury. His expected return is week 4. He's on injured reserve. So is John Feliciano with a shoulder injury. His return as well is week 4. Niall Scott, undisclosed injury. He's questionable for week 2 as well. Carolina, Jason Ferris, undisclosed injury, questionable for week 2. Chris Reed, illness on injured reserve for COVID-19. Dennis Staley, ankle injury, he's questionable. Eli Apple, ankle injury, he's on injured reserve, expected to return on week 4. Natel Jamerson, illness, questionable for week 2. Omar Bayless, knee injury, he's on injured reserve. And Keith Kirkwood, a shoulder injury, his expected return is week number 4. Let's go to Chicago. Robert Quinn, an ankle injury, questionable for week 2. Eddie Pinheiro, groin injury, he's expected to return week 4, although I think he's going to be on day-to-day. Michael Joseph, undisclosed injury, as is Darian Clark, also undisclosed, so both are on injured reserve, as is Artie Burns with a knee and ACL is on injured reserve. For Cincinnati, Xavier Tuafilo, ankle injury. He's on injured reserve. He's expected to return week 5. Geno Atkins, shoulder injury, did not practice on Tuesday, questionable for week 2. Sean Williams, calf injury, did not practice Tuesday, questionable for week 2. Trey Wayans, pectoral muscle, injured reserve, expected return in week 10. And Randall Wynn, quadriceps, he's on injured reserve. For Cleveland, holy cats and jammers. The entire team. No. But here we go. I'm going to read these fully. Jarvis Landry, hip injury, did not practice, questionable for week 2. Mac Wilson, knee injury, didn't practice Tuesday, questionable for week 2. So is Jack Conklin, ankle injury, didn't practice Tuesday, very questionable. Chris Hubbard, ankle injury, limited practice on Tuesday, questionable for week 2. Greedy Williams, shoulder, did not practice Tuesday, questionable for week 2. David Joku, knee and MCL, injured reserve, expect to return week 5. J.C. Treader, knee injury, limited practice on Tuesday, questionable for week 2. Jedrick Wills, shin, questionable for week 2. Kevin Johnson, abdomen, did not practice on Tuesday, questionable for week 2. Oliver Vernon, another abdomen injury, limited practice Tuesday, very questionable for week 2. Jacob Phillips, knee injury, did not practice on Tuesday and is questionable for week 2. Foot injury for Curtis Weaver, he's on injured reserve, as is George Obina with a tricep injury. Trevon Young with an undisclosed injury, and Grant Delpit with an Achilles, all 4 on injured reserve. For Dallas, Blake Jarwin, knee, ACL, injured reserve. Cameron Irvin, knee, MCL, injured reserve. He'll be back in week 5. Leighton Vander Esch, collarbone, injured reserve, expected to return in week 7. Ventil Bryant, knee injury, injured reserve, expected to return week 4. Sean Lee, sports hernia, expected to return on week 4. Lael Collins, hip injury, injured reserve, week 4. He should return. Mitch Hyatt with a knee injury and Azur Kamara with an undisclosed injury. Both men are on injured reserve. For Denver, AJ Boy's shoulder injury, questionable, as is Cortland Sutton with a shoulder and an AC joint, questionable for week 2. Philip Lindsley, toe, questionable for week 2. Von Miller's, we've reported, ankle injury. He's on injured reserve, not expected to return this season. Mark Barron, hamstring, questionable for week 2. Austin Fort, knee and ACL, injured reserve. He'll be back probably week 4. And Justin Strawn, Stranad, injured reserve with a wrist. The Motor City Kitties. Oh boy, here we go. Justin Coleman, hamstring, injured reserve. He'll be back in week 6, we hope. Kenny Galladay and CJ Moore, both, and Hunter Bryant, all hamstring, all questionable for week 2 at Green Bay. Hala Pulavati Vaitai, foot injury, week 2, questionable. Desmond Tufront, a hamstring, questionable for week 2. Bo Scarborough, undisclosed, injured reserve. He and Mike Ford with a leg injury, both are on injured reserve, and both are expected to return on week 4. Austin Bryant, undisclosed, physically unable to perform. He'll be back in week 8. Nick Baldwin, undisclosed. He's on injured reserve. Jason Cornell, Achilles, also injured reserve. There are a lot of injuries with some of these, and because of our time, we're just going to save the rest for tomorrow. But right now, because once again, they do not allow cameras at the VFL just yet. Harry, you got to do it. So we will have from the Vatican Football League, it's time for the Rabbi. Thank you, Steve. And it is indeed time for the Rabbi to bring us his Thursday night football picks. This should be fun. That's right. And now, live from the Vatican Football League, just a hop, skip, and a holy shiznit from the Vatican and St. Peter's Basilica. Here he is, the commissioner and good friend of ours. Here's Monsignor Rabbi from Shecky Fleischman with tonight's Rapping with the Rabbi, the Thursday, September 17th ball game between Cincinnati and Cleveland. Rabbi, how you doing, sir? What are we doing here? Oh, yes. Good evening, everyone. It is a great day to be here. It's a great day to be alive, especially if you are a football fan, not only of pro football, but of college football. And we salute the Big Ten for coming to their senses and saying, let's kick off this mofo. That's right, folks. It's time for the real games to begin, and I can't wait. 8 games plus a bonus one, a championship, a champions week of a champions game. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm just wondering if they're going to have the traditional ending game. Of course, as you know, that would be Michigan versus Michigan State. Well, I don't know, Rabbi. I've been told, Steve just made mention of it earlier, that the schedule should be announced this week. And if it is, we'll bring it to the viewers and listeners. Yes, and I am hoping that, yes, the traditional end of the season game, Michigan versus Ohio State. And I think this year it's going to happen. Finally, the Ohio State Buckeyes will be humbled again. We'll just find that out. Okay, it is time to give you my Rabbi's pick from last week. And I understand we also had to put up a explanation. Yes, that's right. Your final score prediction, or the predicted final score, with the final score actuality, you got to be between 3 to 40 points away from the actual score. If you are not, that will be considered a loss. And I am here to tell you, you did excellent. How excellent was I? 10-6. 62% accuracy. I don't believe it. But I am glad for one thing. We are normal now. Well, as normal as we can get. Well, what do you expect? We're all football fans. Yes, that is true. Now, let's get this thing going. All right. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Oh, boy. Could you tell me something, Harold and Steve, if you're listening in? Could you tell me why in this fakakta world, the gods of the NFL decided to put this lame-ass game on Thursday night, the debut night for the NFL Network's Thursday Night Football, before they do that simulcast with Fox? I don't know, Baxman. Do you know back there in the warm climate of the studio, they're masochist? Well, there's your answer, Rabbi. They're masochist. It stands to reason. But now, I will predict this game. It starts at 8:20. That's the best prediction. The tickets. I don't believe these fakakta tickets. $90.75 they're starting? I shouldn't even be predicting this game except with a golden finger, and I know which finger to use. But anyway, let's talk this game. Cincinnati didn't do too bad last week. Cleveland did. They're both 0-1. Well, in my case, 0-1. One of them's going to be 0-2. Can you guess which one? That's right. I am predicting Cincinnati. And you better put this down on paper. Or at least something that looks like paper. I am predicting the final score, Cincy 27. Cleveland 7. That's one up from what they were last week. Oh boy. So you're going with Cincinnati by 20. Yes, that is right. And I will be back on Saturday night when I'll give you the rest of week 2, the Sunday games, and I guarantee you this. 10-6. I'm going 11-5 this coming week. That's right, week 2, 11-5. I'm going to try to beat that 95% that I had last year. I mean, that's 4% off what I had last year, wasn't it? Yes, that is true. So once again, the final score for tomorrow night's game on the NFL Network and only on the NFL Network will be Cincinnati 27, Cleveland 7. Yes, that is true. And I wish you all well. Now, Baxman, you had reported that, I think it was you, that reported that New Orleans and Las Vegas would also be on a simulcast with the ABC network. Yes, actually, Steve Levy reported that. Well, upon further review, as we take a look, only a few games, only a few of the ABC network stations. Oh, maybe not. Hold on for a second here. We got the report right here. We're going to give it to you right now. In fact, I'm going to break Baxman's little honor there, as I will report this to you. This is from Front Office Sports. Circle Monday Night Football's Week 2 telecast during the NFL's upcoming 2020 season. Not only will it be the Las Vegas Raiders' first home date in their new home, and I tell you, it's a palace, but the September 21st game will also mark ABC's first regular season NFL telecast in 15 years. On the 50th anniversary, believe it or not, of that show that gave us Cosell. On the broadcast, that voice gave us the team of Cosell, Keith Jackson, and Dandy Don Meredith. Everybody forgets about Keith Jackson being one of the original 3. We all keep thinking and remembering, of course, Cosell, Meredith, and Gifford. But in the first game, the first televised Monday night game, it was Howard Cosell, Keith Jackson, and Dandy Don Meredith. Then the producers decided they'd ship Keith Jackson over to college football, where he became Mr. College Football, a move that was, as we would call it, made from heaven. That would be debatable. To continue, the broadcast network, on the 50th anniversary Monday Night Football, the sister networks, ABC and ESPN, will both televise the Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints. That means that next Monday night, you won't have Dancing with the Stars on that night. Hallelujah. Ralph, who told you can interrupt the program? I am sorry, but I am excited. Ralph, go to the Popemobile. I think it needs more wash. And put a shine on the headlights. The last time he drove it, he almost hit a deer. Oh, You send an angel out to wash a car? Of course, wouldn't you? Good point. It's going to be part of a, Broadcast Network ABC could televise a straightforward simulcast of ESPN's telecast. However, ESPN may megacast that evening's Monday Night Football game the way it offers more than a dozen alternate watching episodes or options for this thing called the College Football Playoff National Championship. Now, that means ESPN and ABC could employ different teams of announcers, different camera angles, or different coverage approaches for this NFL game. ESPN's telecast, for example, would feature the regular announcing crew that calls every game, like that mysterious man, Steve Levy, and Bob Greasy, and who's the other guy? I keep forgetting him. I forget him. Now, ABC's coverage, on the other hand, and I'm reading this. So if this is true, then their ratings are going to be concocted. Well, what do you mean? Yeah, I've got to ask you what you mean. Well, because ABC's coverage might offer the viewers the opportunity to hear the home team's local radio announcers call the game. In this case, it would be what? Oy vey. No. Yes, Brett Musburger, the play-by-play voice of the Raiders. Or ABC could offer viewers the ability to watch the game from different angles, such as the popular Skycam view above and behind the action on the field. I've got to tell you, I think this may be the beginning of what could possibly be ABC's return to Monday Night Football. This could work when the negotiations for the new broadcast right package begins. Because ABC wanted back in, but never got a chance. Now, to next Monday night, they're going to chance it. And I can't wait. Anyway, Baxman, I know you got to go back to work. I've taken up too much of your time, but this news was just too big. We got it confirmed. So if you love that dancing with the Z-rated stars, like that woman from Tiger King or whatever the fuck she did, I hate to tell you, but for the first time in about 4 years, that will be a preemption for Monday Night Football. I can't wait, and I know you, the viewers, can't wait either. I've taken too much time. The Baxman is chomping at the bit to get back on. So, for myself, I will see you Saturday night at 11:30 with the remaining picks from Week 2, including the Monday night game, which should be a very interesting one indeed. Reporting live from the Vatican Football League, where we still have not yet decided to put a camera in here so you can see my wonderful visage on television. My wife's been asking for it. But hey, you got 100,000 Cardinals here. They're the ones that vote, and so far, no cameras. But you never know. They may change their mind. I am Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman saying blessings to all and enjoy your Thursday night football. L'chaim. Thank you, Rabbi Fleischman. Monsignor Rabbi Fleischman. Ah, yes, Monsignor Rabbi Fleischman. Baxman, it's yours. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. So for the first time in, I think, about 4 weeks, an entire network, ABC, is given Dancing with the Stars a Monday night off. For that, I am going to DVR. I am definitely going to DVR that game. Anyway, thank you, Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman, for your Thursday night prediction. And before any one of you folks out there will ask, This is an NFL Network exclusive. I do believe fourth or fifth week of the NFL season is when the big simulcast with Fox occurs. But it'll still go under the NFL Network as far as we're concerned. So there you go. Anyway, let's get back to some more scores and a lot of good stuff here. You're watching the sports final here where we sink to no new lows, but always go for the new highs. Yahoo. Okay, let's talk more college football. And this is going to be very interesting. One of the games that will be given heavy coverage, Missouri's count of players who will miss the team season opener against Alabama on September 26th due to COVID-19 protocols is now up to 12. Tiger coach Elijah Drinkwitz said Wednesday, though not all 12 have necessarily tested positive for the coronavirus. The SEC mandates a 14-day quarantine for those who have tested positive, for those who have been in a prolonged close contact with someone who tests positive. An instance of a prolonged close contact is when a person has spent 15 minutes within 6 feet of someone in the last 2 days prior to their development of COVID symptoms, according to the SEC's medical guidelines. Drinkwitz did not specify what positions the 12 players represent, and the league has not announced a minimum threshold of players that would be required for games this season. The Big 12 is requiring teams to have at least 53 players, including 7 offensive linemen, 4 interior defensive linemen, and 1 quarterback available for games. The ACC guidelines similarly require teams to have at least 7 healthy scholarship offensive linemen available for games. Though Drinkwitz said, quote, "Right now, we're fine," end quote. The Tigers' count of COVID-19 related absences could still climb as the program is scheduled to undergo more rounds of COVID-19 testing before hosting the Crimson Tide and Drinkwater's debut a week from Saturday. Said Drinkwitz, "I can't predict the future. I just take the results that come to me." I have a feeling that game is going to be postponed or moved to another week. But we shall see, folks. We shall see. Okay, let's go back to more sports headlines for you at 12:28. And thank you, Rabbi. Wow, that was a lot of info from the Rabbi, but we bless and we thank. So, what else is going on, you may say? And we do say. Oops, there we go. Nope, there. Okay, some other big news, and this one in the college basketball ranks. The NCAA is exploring the start dates, 4 potential start dates, in fact, for the 2020-2021 college basketball season for both men and women. Sources tell CBS Sports, with 2 dates having gained the most traction, lean into significant voting decisions in the coming weeks. November 25th and December 4th are at this point considered the preferred dates. One source indicated to CBS Sports in November 25th has a slight edge over December 4th. The NC2A provided a timeline document to conference commissioners late last week, obtained by our friends at CBS Sports, that details the review and approval processes on starting the forthcoming season. Sources say that the NCAA Senior Vice President of Basketball, Dan Gavitt, communicated to conferences commissioners late last week these first day of season, November 10th. Option 2, first practices allowed, October 9th, first day of season, November 20th. Option 3, first practices allowed, October 14th. First day of season, November 25th. And option 4, the first practices allowed, October 24th. First day of season, December 4th. Sources told CBS that the NCAA Men's Basketball Oversight Committee and the Men's Basketball Election Committee have held separate meetings Wednesday to discuss these potential start dates, among other action items. On Thursday, Division I Conference Commissioners will hold meetings to discuss the basketball season, as did the NABC. On Friday, the Women's Basketball Committee and the Women's Basketball Coaches Association will convene and seek feedback on the recommended models as well. The review process will include feedback on issues ranging from different start season options, the latest recommended models being shared with the NCAA's COVID-19 medical advisory boards, plus a myriad of logistical questions, concerns, and curiosities that exist with non-conference scheduling. A tentative meeting between the men and women's oversight committees is scheduled for Monday, August 31st. Oh, that's already been done. The NCAA is targeting the first week of September to settle on a model or models if necessary to bring the division to the Division I Council. So we should have a vote, and we'll give you that result when it becomes available, but maybe the 25th of November. The schedule will have 22 games played, but we'll find out as we said. Okay. Okay, like sands through the hourglass. We're going full 30 extra. Like sands through the hourglass, it's time to give you the scoreboard. So here we go. Face to face, a couple of not so silver spoons. We got the scoreboard for you. And that is going to be good. Soccer, baseball, little Australian football, and more. Stick around. One more gulp. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Okay, let's go to it. Let's kick it off with a little soccer news. We may have some little soccer news, and we do. In the Champions League qualification, Amoria defeated Crvena Zvezda after penalty kicks. They actually had a 1-1 tie, but they had to play with penalty kicks. 2-1, Ammonia won. Ferencvaros over Zagreb 2-1. Maccabi Tel Aviv over Dynamo Brest 1-0. Qarabag over Mold. Well, Mold over Qarabag after tying the regulation 0-0. Mold won 1-0. Midtjylland over Young Boys 3-0. And in the Europe League qualification, Willem 2 over Niederkom 5-0. Lech Poznan over Hammarby 3-0. And Tórshavn over TNS after a 1-1 tie regulation. They beat them 3-2 in penalty kicks. On to baseball. In Japan, the NPB, the Nippon Professional Baseball. Hiroshima Carp over the Chunichi Dragons 9-2, 9-13-2 for the Carp, 2-10-0 for the Dragons. Namura for the Carp gets the win. He's 5-1. Okano gets the loss for the Dragons. He's 2-2. The Fukuoka Silverhawks defeated the Nippon Ham Fighters 5-4. 5-8-2 for the Hawks. 4-9-1 for the Fighters. Kuman gets the loss. He's 0-2. Takahashi got the win for the Silverhawks. He's 4-1. The York Buffaloes defeat the Rakuten Golden Eagles 2-0. 2-5-0 for the Buffalo. 0-2-0 for the Eagles. Tajima for the Buffalo gets the win. He's 2-4. Wakui for the Golden Eagles gets the loss. He's 8-3. Cebu Lions over the Chibalati Marines 3-1. 3-8-0 for the Lions. 1-4-1 for the Marines. Hamaya for the Lions gets the win. He's 1-0. Ojima gets the loss for the Marines. He's 5-6. Yakult Swallows defeated the Yokohama Bay Stars 3-2. 3-7-0 for the Swallows. 2-8-0 for the Bay Stars. Salucci for the Swallows gets the win. He's 1-0. Kemikatani Palevu for the Bay Stars gets a loss. He's 1-2. And the Omuri Giants beat the Hashin Tigers 7-6, 7-11-0 for the Giants, 6-6-1 for Los Tigres. Taguchi gets the win for the Giants. He's 4-3. Aoyagi gets a loss for the Tigers. He's 6-5. And we got South Korea, the Korean baseball organization. The NC Dinos over to Doosan Bears 5-3, 5-8-0 for the Dinos, 3-7-1 for the Bears. The LG Twins gave a whopping to the Hanwha Eagles 11-5, 11-15-0 for the Twins, 5-9-1 for the Eagles. SK Wyverns in a tight game beat the Kia Tigers 7-6, 7-11-0 for the Wyverns, 6-10-1 for Los Tigres. Ladi Giants over the Kiwoon Heroes 8-2, 8-14-2 for the Giants, 2-4-0 for the Heroes. KT Wiz Suwon beat the Samsung Lions 11-6, 11-19-0 for the Suwon, 6-14-0 for the Lions. And that, friends, is that for the scoreboard. Let's give you a little media bite before we send ourselves tastily along. There we go. Before we send you tastefully along to the other side of a midnight. There we go. Thank you. You gotta believe we do these things. And when we think these up, they're supposed to be smooth, but sometimes they don't. Boy. In the NCAA, the LSU AD Scott Woodward said head coach Ed Oregon was a bit too transparent when he said most LSU players have had COVID-19. Ooh. Dallas Braden dropped a duck, dive, dodge, duck, and dive for Tony Kemp's tag evasion. In pop culture, female sports agent Nicole Lynn's inspiring TV series is being developed for the Starz Network. And Stephen A. Smith unloaded on Max Kellerman over Kawhi Leonard's performance in the Clippers' NBA playoff loss. Ew. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, don't forget the 2020 U.S. Open Golf Championships can be seen on NBC and the NBC Golf Channel. They're not on Fox this year. Fox bailed. Aw. And, this is going to be fun. We're going to do this. The Major League Baseball postseason schedule is here, and it's going to conflict with a lot of other sports. How so, you may ask? Let's tell you all about them, and then we're going to say goodnight to you. On Tuesday, Major League Baseball announced 2020 playoff schedule, which will be bubbled in Texas and Southern California. Next week, we're going to try to put the microphone on one of these extendo arms like you see in some of your more professional radio studios. So we won't have this thing falling. The expanded wildcard round, which will feature 8 teams in each league, will take place from Tuesday, September 29th through Friday, October 2nd. These games will be held in the home stadiums of the top 4 seeds in each league and will be played straight through without days off in between games of each series. The division series will be bubbled, with one AL series taking place at Petco Park in San Diego, and another AL series taking part in Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. In the National League, one series will be held at Houston's Minute Maid Park, and another will take place at Arlington's Globe Life Field. The division rounds begin Monday, October 5th, and then Saturday, October 10th, again without days off in between. Championship Series will be bubbled. The ALCS will be in San Diego. NLCS will be in Arlington. The league championship rounds begin on Sunday, October 11th, and then Sunday, October 18th. No off days in between each game of each series. The World Series will begin on Tuesday, October 20th, and be held in Arlington. Unlike the previous rounds of the playoffs, the standard off days will occur throughout the World Series. Full schedule of games in that we speak. Game 1, Tuesday, October 20th. Game 2, Wednesday, October 21st. Game 3, Friday, October 23rd. Game 4, Saturday, October 24th. Game 5, Sunday, October 25th. Game 6, Tuesday, October 27th. And Game 7, Wednesday, October 8th. Of course, Games 5, 6, and 7, if necessary. As for TV assignments, game times are, of course, still a question. 7 of the 8 wildcard series will air on ESPN, while the remaining one will air on TBS. TBS will also air all of the American League Division and American League Championship games this season, while Fox has the NL package and will be airing the NLDS and NLCS, minus a couple of games, which will be on the MLB Network. With most of those games likely landing on FS1, the World Series will air exclusively on the Big Rock Candy Mountain Fox. Now for the fun part. What about the conflicts with other sports, particularly the NFL? There's a good question. The NBA Finals is scheduled to start on September 30th, the day of 8 wildcard playoff games. Game 2 of the finals is scheduled on the same day as 4, if needed, wild-card elimination games, while Game 3 will face no MLB competition. Game 4 will be played on the same day as 4 division series matchups, and a potential Game 5 will be matched up with 2 potential Game 4 divisional series games and 2 potential Game 5 matchups. If the NBA final goes to 6 games, it'll be on the same days to start the ALCS in San Diego, and a potential Game 7 will be on a day featuring Game 3 of the ALCS and Game 2 of the NLCS. So, of the 7 potential NBA final games, as tentatively scheduled, only one, Game 3, faces the potential of no MLB competition. Over at the NHL, the schedule for the Stanley Cup Final is still up in the air, though it was rumored to be starting on September 20th if the Islanders can push the series to 7 or 6. Maybe it won't start until later. Regardless, there'll still be conflicts with the wildcard rounds of the MLB postseason. Now, switching gears to college football, kickoff times on many games are still up in the air. Major League Baseball will catch a break with an off day on October 3rd, the date of a pair of top 10 SEC matchups. Texas A&M, Alabama, and Auburn, Georgia. October 10th features a pair of potential NLDS games, and that's a loaded Saturday for college football. The schedule consists of Miami, Clemson, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Texas A&M, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Florida State, Notre Dame, and the cherry on top, Texas, Oklahoma on Fox, home of the National League playoffs this year. ESPN has also got college football airing nationally on the 7th, 8th, and 9th to potentially siphon away some more viewers. The network also has 4 midweek games from October 14th to 16th and October 17th, home of potential ALCS Game 7 and NLCS Game 6, featuring a 1-2 punch of LSU, Florida, and Georgia, Alabama, along with 4 other ranked versus ranked matchups. Game 4 of the World Series falls on October 24th, and right now the college football schedule is looking pretty thin. Alabama, Tennessee, Oklahoma, TCU, and Georgia, Kentucky are standout matchups. There may be more when the Big Ten releases their matchups. And then there's the NFL. Here are the NFL games taking place on the first 3 Thursdays of the MLB postseason. October 1st, Broncos versus Jets on the NFL Network. October 8th, Buccaneers versus Bears, the Fox NFL Network and Amazon. On October 15th, Chiefs versus Bills, Fox NFL Network and Amazon. Needless to say, those last 2 games will probably end up being troublesome for Major League Baseball. Now, here are the NFL games taking place on the final 3 Sunday nights of the MLB postseason, though only the first Sunday is guaranteed to have a game. October 11th, Vikings Seahawks. October 18th, Rams 49ers. And October 25th, Buccaneers Raiders. Now, that actually doesn't appear to be all that bad for Major League Baseball, though an NLCS Game 7 featuring the Dodgers going up against the Rams would probably hurt NBC more than Major League Baseball. As for Monday Night Football, only 2 Mondays will feature MLB postseason games this fall, October 5th and 12th. The first Monday Night Football matchup, Falcons-Packers, and second is Chargers-Saints. So when it comes to Mondays, it also looks like MLB got off somewhat easy. All in all, the postseason for Major League Baseball has its flaws, but seems like the league dodged a major NFL-shaped bullet in its scheduling, but given the overlap with the NBA Finals and college football, October is going to be a busy month. And sports fans will be the ones to be cheering for. Ah, yes. Cheer on, baby. Cheer on. Okay. That, for want of a better word, is thus. And thus is thus. So we're done. Yep. We are officially finage. Okay, we're done here for the night. Are we done here for the night. We have gone well over our usual allotment of time. We have hit the 1 hour, 12 minute, and 32 seconds, about to be an hour and 13-minute show. So we're going to say a group hello to my friends on Facebook, Twitter, and the Gram, and that is going to wrap it up for us. We want to thank you very much for watching this little wild soliloquy to sports, and we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night after Thursday Night Football. Until then, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, and this has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. And for everybody that has worked hard here, including a 4-legged, smart-ass cat named Uno, who we love with relative kindness. And she's probably in my room. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I am Steve, the Baxman Baxley, saying, as always, may your favorite team always be a winner. And good night, America, wherever and whomever ye may be. We'll see you tomorrow night. Adios!